Over the last few weeks, we've watched Congress bicker, the government shut down. Meanwhile, a group of Harvard students have put together their annual report of the United States of America, and it's telling a sobering tale.
My name is Henry Scholl, and I'm the editor of the annual report of the U.S.A., also known as U.S.A, for fiscal year 2012. U.S.A is a partnership between the Harvard Political Review, the Institute of Politics at Harvard University, and the American Education Foundation. The goal of U.S.A is to increase transparency with respect to federal fiscal policy. We want to inform people about how their money is being raised and then spent by the federal government. One of the major topics that we focused on in U.S.A this year was the federal debt and the federal deficit. One of the things that we found is that if the U.S. were to impose a one-time payment to cover its debt, that amount would come to $52,000 for every person, including the young, the disabled, and the elderly. If that one-time debt reduction tax were levied only on people who are in the workforce, it would come out to about $106,000 per person. Another interesting finding is that some programs don't cost nearly as much money as politicians make it seem in their statements. For example, you could run the National Endowment for the Arts for over 100,000 years before you ran up a bill as large as the current federal debt, even though the National Endowment for the Arts is a common target for deficit hawks. There have recently been a lot of discussions about the federal debt limit and how it would be a bad idea to raise this limit. But in fact, since 1940, the debt limit has been either increased or decreased over 90 times. So it's actually a much more common occurrence than politicians may make it seem.
Hi, I'm Sandra Koren. I'm a senior at Harvard this year and the author of 2 sections on entitlement spending for this year's annual report of the United States of America. According to the National Bureau for Economic Research, the Great Recession ended in June 2009, but that might come as a surprise to the over 10 million Americans who are still unemployed and searching for work. I spoke with the executive director of the Boston Workers Alliance, which is a small advocacy organization in Dorchester, Massachusetts that helps unemployed Bostonians reach unemployment benefits and food stamps and other portions of the social safety net. But the Boston Workers Alliance has found that a lot of their constituents struggle through pages and pages of papers and often find at the end of the process that they don't actually qualify for any social programs at all. And have fallen through the cracks of the social safety net. At the same time, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are discussing the funding structures of the very programs that these residents are trying to access. One of the interesting things we found was that last May there were 12.7 million unemployed Americans, yet only 6 million Americans receiving unemployment benefits.
We can't count on Congress. That's why I'm so proud that our students have opened up the books to identify some of the problems facing our country. They're taking matters into their own hands. They're not waiting for Congress to get its act together.